Mike Swenson.
What's your rugby playing history?
I started playing at the age of 4 down at West Rugby. I played up a couple of years with my brothers and played there until I went to high school. Then I played at Brisbane Grammar from grade 8 to grade 12. Missed a couple of years with broken ankles, so I missed grade 9 and grade 10. Played first and seconds at Grammar. Then I went down to West Rugby Club. Played 2 years at Colts and 4 years of seniors. And I headed over to Basingstoke in England for a year, where I dislocated my shoulder, and that was the end. So I stopped playing at 24.
Okay. What positions you played?
When I was younger, I started off at halfback. Then when I got to high school, they didn't have a 5'8", so I moved to 10. Then I started growing, so I went from 10 to fullback to wing to centres, and eventually I ended up at outside centre.
Mm-hmm. And you played in the 2006 grand final?
That's right, yeah. So that team contained a lot of the guys I played Colts rugby with, a couple of those young fellas, a few guys who played with my brothers and that, and really good mix of people that have come from all over Australia, really.
Okay. Now I'm looking into mental health with club rugby, and what was any awareness of mental health when you were playing either at school or at Colts or Premier Road?
Look, it wasn't something that I remember being openly addressed. Like you think about high school when you're younger and probably not able to deal with being dropped and things like that. It can be a lot more difficult for kids then. I was dropped from the first to the seconds. The way I dealt with it was I felt that playing at that higher level in first, there's a lot of pressure on you, and it took a bit of the enjoyment out of the game. So for me, I just went back to the second and said, I'm just going to enjoy my rugby now and have fun. And to be honest, that's the way I took it all the way through Colts and grades. I didn't really care where I got selected. If I didn't get picked to the best team, I didn't care. I just wanted to play rugby, have fun with my mates. But at high school, we did have a counsellor there, but I couldn't even tell you where the office was. And I don't really know of any guys that went there for rugby reasons. I think it would have been more for, high schools with all the boys are pretty notorious for bullying. So things like that would be where or why people would be sort of going to get that help.
Okay. What about when in Colts? Was there a pressure, especially around the grand finals? Like, how many grand finals did you play in?
In Colts, we played in a semi-final that we lost.
Yep.
I played in a reserve grade grand final in 2003 down at West. So that was second grade, and then we played in the 2006 grand final.
Was there much pressure regarding players to make the team for those grand final and final games?
Look, in that 06 team, we had a very settled side. We had very few injuries all year. A few players came in and out. We had John Rowe drop back from Wallabies duty, but that meant that one of our starters moved to the bench. And I think rugby's become a squad game now. Like you need, that. Our bench was so strong, it came on the end and won us the game. So I think if you've got the right team environment, the right attitude, people are okay with it. But there were certainly instances where it probably just started where people weren't playing full careers at clubs. They were looking to other clubs if they didn't get selected, or if they thought they were being slighted or weren't getting the fair go that they deserved. But for me personally, like I said, I never really worried about selection. I was always shocked when I got picked in the top team. And to me, if I got asked to play reserve grade, which I did a couple of times in that 2006 year, I missed a game because I had to sit one of my final exams, and they dropped me the next week, and I just went down and played second grade, and that was fine.
Okay. Was there any, the mental health first aiders, they started in 2018.
Yep.
Was there anything previous to that about mental health around the club, or mental health week supporting, or anything like that you remember?
I can't remember any mental health support. The main focus was really about prep during the week at your training, making sure you were rested on Friday night, your diet on game day, things around that. For me, playing rugby was for my mental health. It was my stress relief. It was my relief from my uni studies, from your casual job, and you went down there to have fun and hang out with your mates, and also the fitness aspect of it, healthy body, healthy mind. I found that was all helping my mental health. so for me and a lot of the guys we play with, I think it was just being part of the club was an improvement for your mental health, and was something that was assisting with people maybe with things they were struggling with outside of rugby. But no, there was certainly no official sit downs or anything from the QRU.
So the club mentality, like belonging to a club, belonging to the team, kind of help players deal with their mental health and deal with stress and deal with.
Yeah, I think so. It provided people like a community, somewhere to go. So every Tuesday, Thursday, you knew that you could go down there and see your mates, and on Saturdays you played your game. And for me, the games were like a massive release. It's where you could take out some of your anger and aggression in a legal way, and then afterwards go have a beer and head out with your mates. And I think everyone, well, that I associate with the club, it strengthened their mental health by being part of that network and that feeling of belonging to a club and to a group of people that you knew you were always going to see. A bit like when you go down now to watch, you know you're going to run into the same people, and so it's a good day, and it's something people look forward to and lifts you up.
Has that mentality from like belonging to a club, playing team sports, gone on in your life after leaving rugby?
Absolutely. Like, I still talk to a lot of the people I used to play rugby with, and we're on group chats and talking about different issues. Like obviously during COVID and that, there was a lot of chat going on in it. Like I'm in a 2006 group chat that's got other guys in it as well. I'm on group chats with my mates and that, and I think there's support there if you need it. And I think people now are a lot more aware, and as you get older, that people do have mental health issues, and so that they're there if you need to reach out to them. So especially your rugby mates, because you've been through a lot with them.
So I think now the awareness of, like with Michael Hooper taking the Super Rugby, the World Championship off for mental health. Mental health has now become more of an awareness thing now than it was back then. Yeah,
it's destigmatised, if that's the right word. Like, back in the day, you probably, it wasn't something you bring up if you were struggling mentally. You had to be mentally tough and put all that stuff to the side, and that's just, I don't know if that's a societal thing or a rugby thing, but when you got on the field, your mates depended on you to do a job, and you wouldn't show any mental weakness. But now it's certainly, there's more awareness now. I think men are more comfortable talking about their mental health issues and asking for help. Yeah.
Okay. Now with rugby today, do you think it's in the better place now with more mental health awareness than it was back when you played?
Oh, certainly. You see it on the Facebook pages and that. They have the mental health awareness weeks. I know the guys have people they can talk to at the club and at the QRU if they do want help. I know the coach at West, he talks about like love between the group, and they're probably not words you would have used 20, 30 years ago, but I think the mental health is a real focus now, because if people are feeling better about themselves and in the right headspace, I think they're going to perform better as well. If you're taking your issues onto the field and you're distracted, then it helps with performance, but also I think people care about how people are coping outside of rugby now. So it's more of a totality rather than that you come to the club, you play rugby, and then you go away. I think people genuinely want to be interested in what's going on in your life and make sure everything's all right.
So it's interesting in outside of rugby, like how you play, how your friends, like in your team, how they're acting outside rugby.
Yeah.
When they're away from the club, as well as what they are when they're at the club.
Yeah, exactly. And it's certainly when you're part of a team. Well, with us, like we were seeing each other every day basically. You'd be in the gym Monday, Wednesday, you'd be training Tuesday, Thursday, you'd play games on Saturday, you'd hang out on a Sunday, so you were involved in each other's lives, so you wanted to make sure your friends were okay.
Do you know of anyone from that group that has come out with mental health issues?
No, not that I can think of. Not openly, no.